Good morning. I'm going to show you how to add a name to the back of a key fob. Right now I'm working in Sew What Pro, and as you can see I have my color stops, I have my design, everything is laid out in the screen. This one happens to just be a bunny rabbit. So what we're going to do now is copy one of the color stops from the original design, place it into a new design, flip it or mirror image it so that you can then add your lettering to it and have it line up properly. So I'm going to select the outline of my design. As you can tell now, everything else is grayed out and the full outline of it is here on screen. You could also choose to do just the final bean. They're the exact same stitch, but it's really irrelevant which one you choose because you're just taking the shape of it. So in Sew What Pro, there are several ways to copy. I'm just going to click the button, select to create a new fob, and paste it on screen. So now you can see that I have my bunny rabbit. So what we need to do now is mirror it, because when you're going to add your lettering to the back of it, it is, you need to line it up. So right now you can tell there are 3 different ways to flip this image around. This one is just the rotating of the file itself. That one really doesn't do you a whole lot of good. This one is the mirror, and I'm just going to turn it so you can see what I'm really talking about. So if you remember in the original file, the tab was over on the other side. So the tab is now on that same corner over there, but the bunny rabbit is facing the opposite direction. So this is what you're going to use and add your name to it. I'm not going to take that step here in Sew What Pro right now, but you would name your ad to it, line it up, angle it however you want to in the middle of that fob. Remember that your actual bunny design is a little bit smaller than your final outline, so you want to make sure that you account for that when you're adding the name to it. Can't find my file now. Here we go. Remember that when you're adding your name to it, to make sure that your name is small enough that it's not going to catch in the final bunny outline itself, not the key fob outline. So I would actually stitch this one as your first hooping. Stitch just this outline on stabilizer. Put your vinyl or whatever backing you're going to use. Add your name so that the only thing stitched actually on the backing is the lettering and not this outline. You want to make sure that it's perfect when it's outlined and added to the front piece of the key fob. So I'm never perfect enough to get it added exactly so the stitches are covered up with the last row when you're married the 2 pieces together. So I just stitch the name onto the vinyl. The stitching of this outline on the stabilizer is going to be what you use to line it up. So once you do that, again, you stitch this line on your stabilizer, then you add your vinyl, which will be the back piece, stitch your name, remove this hoop from your machine, stitch the front side of the design all the way until you get to the last 1 or 2 color stops, depending on how the design is laid out. It could be 1 color stop, which is your final bean, or it could be 2 color stops, which is your final bean, and the snap tab placements for the snaps or rivets. However it is, you just want to stop there. When you go to add your backing to the front side of the design, you want to make sure that you are lining up that stitch line carefully. You have a little tiny bit of playroom on there because you're not trying to marry an actual stitch line to a stitch line. On the vinyl itself, you're lining it up with the stabilizer to the back side of the front piece of vinyl, if that makes sense. I will get some snapshots later. It's just kind of difficult to do right now with one hand on my camera. So that is how you mirror and select and create a second design, basically, for your key fob if you want to add a name to the back of it. So I'm going to also do a little quick video in how to do it in Brilliance. Thanks.